Hi there, I'm Stuart Smith and welcome to my Short Game Academy. Today we are looking at the running chip. So a chip which once you hit it, it lands and then rolls quite a bit more than usual for the loft of the club. And the reason you would hit this shot is, well, here we've got a perfect example. My ball's ended up in a divot near the green. So when it's in the divot, it means that the ground just before the ball is higher, so I can't really get in and strike the ball properly. So what we're going to have to do is come in at a steep angle of attack, so the ball's going to be back in my stance, and as soon as it goes back in your stance, it means energy. Okay, so when the ball lands, it will roll more than normal. So whereas if I was to hit a normal chip with my 56-degree wedge, I'd probably look to land it 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the way between me and the hole. When it's in a hole like this and I need to alter the energy values because I've got to strike down and into it, I'm going to pitch it just over halfway. Okay, so I'm then going to allow more run because of the lie I've got. The lie dictates I have to strike down and into it, which means there's more energy in the ball. So we're going to go for this near flag again. I'll hit the shot and then we'll pick the camera up and have a look at where it ended, and we'll try to look at where I landed the ball as well. But let's go through the setup and how we play the shot first of all. So, as I've said, the ball's going to be back in my stance because I'm after a steep angle of attack. So if this is where my hands is and I take the club back, can you see how steep the club goes? And if I was to have it the other way around, see how shallow in relation to the floor the club swings. So the further back you have the club, as long as you keep this forward, so we're not looking to move this too far back, we're going to have a nice steep angle of attack. So chipping out of a divot becomes an awful lot easier. Chipping out of a horrible lie where you've got a tough behind the ball, all this becomes an awful lot easier. We just need to alter where we're going to land the ball. Best way to find out that is to hit the shots, practice and work it out. So again, what I do, same as with any other chip, I get myself into position before I hold the club, because your grip is going to alter on this shot. So the ball's a long way back in my stance, and my chest, as always, is about +1, so we're leaning slightly forwards. I'm going to try to keep my hands under my chin again. So if we look at the club, I've got it at this closed angle, so I've de-lofted the club, then I'm going to bring my right hand in and take the grip. So if I was to lift the club up, can you see the angle? The club is hooded. I've de-lofted the club. I'm not taking my grip and then putting it behind and twisting it to square, because as I play the shot, I will return to an open face, which means A, it's going to go a bit higher, it's going to reduce the run, but more importantly, it's going to hit it miles off to the right. Too many golfers, when they chip with the ball back, don't really know what they're doing is the reason why it's back, but the balls always go off to the right. That's because you must preset this angle first. Okay, so again, it's back. See, if that's my foot, there's a good couple of inches behind me. My chest is forward and I'm getting my hands under my chin. Then I bring my hands in to the club. Okay, now when I take this back, I'm going to look to keep the angle the same. So I'm not looking to open this face. I'm not looking for anything to change between the club and my hands. So by that, I'm not going to let my hands go back, and I'm not going to pick it up steep. I don't need to do too much. I just need to allow the club head to move back. So the club head moves more than what my hands do. So we're almost just saying, okay, allow the club head to go back. See how I've just hinged it? But as I've took it back, you can see I've kept the leading edge square to the ball. So I've almost hooded it even more. I've de-lofted the club even more. My hands now have only got to move a tiny bit to come back to impact, and I can allow a little bit of a snap from the wrist to strike into the ball, just to help get the strike, to help me get into the shot, to get into the ground. If there's tough behind, to get through the tuft. I'm not going to go back and just keep my wrists and everything solid, because it's going to reduce the trajectory of the club can take down into impacts. Remember, we are looking for it to come quite steep. It's in a hole. We're trying to just strike into it, pop the ball out and let it run up towards the hole. So if this shot, I need to pitch it in the rough still. I can't land it on the green, but because of the energy I'm going to put into the shot, I know the ball will land and get through. So again, I've set myself into position. Everything's forwards. I'm going to go back and strike it, but again, remember, we must hood the club. So let's have a go. I can see roughly where I want to land the ball. Let's have a go. So I've hit the shot, and we're about 3 inches away from the hole there. And yes, as you can see, my club did go into the ground. I'm not trying to hit the ground, but because we're coming in at a steep angle, after the ball is the floor. But from where it would have been a horrible chip, because I was in a hole, actually it becomes quite easy. As I said, I just have to alter where I'm going to land the ball. Let's have a look at where it's ended again. So as we can see, the ball, you can actually see it from that angle. There we go, it's ended there. So a nice easy chip, or good result from that one there, just by making sure I strike down and into it. So when you're in a hole, the ball goes back, you strike down and into the ball, keeping everything ahead. Everything means your hands, your body, but when it lands, it will roll more. You will have more energy, so you have to alter your landing zone. Practice it.